If you're just starting to learn makeup, this tutorial is made just for you because I've taught you everything from A to Z about skin preparation and understanding different skin types, and you're going to learn how to do this makeup either for yourself or for your clients. So if you want to become a pro, make sure to watch this post from start to finish because it's really going to help you. Let's get started. Hello. I'm here with a step-by-step makeup tutorial for those who are just starting out and don't know anything about makeup yet. Anyone who wants to enter the world of makeup should first learn about different skin types. You need to know how many skin types there are and what products to use for each type, so that after applying makeup, your skin doesn't look cakey or flaky. The first skin type we need to know about is oily skin. Oily skin has several characteristics. One of its features is that it usually has large red pimples. They have open pores on their skin and always look shiny. It's as if their face is glowing and oily. These are oily skin types, and if you use the wrong materials or take the wrong approach in makeup, your skin will look cakey after makeup, start to clump, and look terrible. The next skin type we need to know about is dry skin. The characteristic of dry skin is that it usually appears flaky. It tends to feel tight or stretched. Even if they splash some water on their face or come out of the shower, their skin immediately starts to feel tight, as if it's being stretched and about to crack. For this skin type, it's also very important that if you choose the wrong products for your makeup, after applying makeup, your face will definitely start to flake and the makeup will look unattractive, making your face appear older and lose its youthful and fresh look. Normal skin is the type we don't have any issues with. It's normal, and no matter what we use, nothing special happens and the skin always looks good. Combination skin refers to skin where usually the T-zone area of the face of their face is either oily while the rest of the skin is dry, or vice versa. The T-zone is dry and the rest of the skin is oily. We usually have some issues with this type, and as we go further, I'll explain what you should do. So whenever you have a client, or even if you're doing your own makeup, the first thing you need to do is cleanse your face with a cleanser. But the important point here is that the cleanser you use must be specifically for your skin type. That means if you have oily skin, use a cleanser for oily skin, and if you have dry skin, use a cleanser for dry skin. This way your skin's pH will be balanced. So be careful not to use just any cleanser on your skin. If you have oily skin and open pores, it's better to use a cleanser that contains salicylic acid or niacinamide. Using a soft, gentle pad, start thoroughly cleansing your entire face, carefully removing all the excess oil, accumulated dirt, and any lingering impurities on your delicate skin so that it's completely clean, refreshed, and perfectly ready for your makeup application. If you can consistently use gentle cleansing foams instead of traditional cleansers, that's truly excellent because these remarkable cleansing foams don't necessarily need to be thoroughly washed off after the initial makeup removal process. They are specifically designed to completely and effectively remove all impurities and lingering residues from the skin's surface, and they invariably leave your skin feeling exceptionally soft and wonderfully smooth. They give your skin a soft and smooth feel, so it's better to use a cleansing foam as well. You can use either a cleansing foam or a cleanser to thoroughly clean your skin so that it's completely free of any impurities. An important point here is that if you have very oily skin and large pus-filled pimples, it's better to use a scrub before applying the cleanser. Try to use the scrub and the massage to extract the pus from the pimples and then start cleansing with your cleanser. Now your skin is ready to move on to the next step. Well, after you've exfoliated your skin, it's time to hydrate it. Whether your skin is oily or dry, it doesn't matter. You absolutely must hydrate your skin. The reason oily skin produces oil is because, for example, the skin's water has run out and now it's trying to produce more water, which is why it secretes oil. The same goes for dry skin. When the skin's water is depleted, it tries to draw in more water, which causes the skin to flake and become dry. So, before applying makeup, you must do a deep hydration. If your skin is oily, you should use a product suitable for oily skin. For example, you can use Clinique's Gel Moisturizer, which is specifically for oily skin and helps control oil while hydrating. But if your skin is dry, you can use Clinique's lotion, which is designed for dry skin, provides deep hydration, and relieves dryness. If your skin is both dry and dehydrated, that is, it's lacking water, very wrinkled and dried out, It's better to use a product suitable for dehydrated skin like Embryolisse. This is amazing for dehydrated and very dry skin, and it gives your skin a beautiful glow. I want to use Embryolisse to give my skin a deep hydration. At the same time as you apply this moisturizer to your skin, it's also a good idea to use an oxygenating spray. Spray it onto your skin and then start massaging it in. This way, your skin will absorb the products much better and become amazing. Keep in mind that the more you massage your moisturizer, the better it will be absorbed into your skin. Be sure to massage around your eyes as well, then pause for 2 minutes and let the moisturizer fully absorb into your skin. If you want a clean and flawless makeup look, make sure to pause for 1 to 2 minutes after each step. This way, the products will be nicely absorbed into your skin and you won't layer them on top of each other, which can cause your makeup to cake or your skin to look patchy. Now for the next step, you'll use a primer that's suitable for your skin type. Primers designed for oily skin are called primers, but those made for dry skin are referred to as underbase. Underbases are products that deeply hydrate the skin and are specifically for dry skin types, like the Guerlain Hydrating Primer, also known as Guerlain Underbase. The Guerlain Hydrating Primer or Underbase is made for dry skin. It contains gold particles, and these gold particles help rejuvenate the skin over time. That means if you use this every day around your eyes and on your skin, it will start to reduce your wrinkles and smile lines. It's absolutely amazing and makes your skin look fresh and vibrant. But if you have oily skin, open pores, and your face looks shiny, you should use a primer that contains silicone, mattifies the skin, and fills in your pores, like the Benefit Primer or Smashbox. You can use either of these two products. Since I have some open pores, I want to use the Benefit Primer. I apply it to the areas where I have open pores and massage it in. Be sure to wait 2 minutes after applying a silicone-based primer so it can be fully absorbed into your skin. Since I have a bit of hollowness under my eyes, I want to take care of that first. So if you also have hollowness under your eyes, or if a client comes to you and they have dark circles and hollowness under their eyes, it's better to use a product specifically made for the under eye area. I'm going to use a camouflage product, Kryolan Camouflage, shade W3. I want to use this amazing product to effectively cover the noticeable hollowness right under my eyes. Furthermore, if you happen to have any bothersome pimples, unsightly spots on your face, or if your facial skin generally has a lot of small dimples, you can certainly use this versatile product for excellent coverage. Before applying your foundation, use this to correct any skin imperfections. Previously, we used to use an orange camouflage to cover these facial spots, but we no longer use the orange camouflage because over time it was discovered that if you use orange camouflage, it shows through under makeup and gives your skin a dull, dirty, and muddy look. That's why you should use a camouflage that matches your skin tone or one shade darker than your skin, like a caramel honey color. You should use a color corrector like this one to effectively cover up those dark spots, any bruises, and various blemishes that might be present on your face. So at this stage, I need to use a blender that I've already washed and now it's become springy. Look, it should have this springy texture and I've squeezed out all the water from it. It's still a bit damp. Now with this, I start dabbing under the eyes and blending it out. You should never drag it at all. Just dab and blend. It's a cream foundation that's suitable for my skin. Tip: if you have oily skin, use creams that are specifically made for oily skin. What does that mean? It means their base should be water and alcohol, so as soon as you apply it to your skin, the alcohol evaporates and the cream gets absorbed, and after you sweat, it won't make your skin oily again. That means your cream should absolutely not contain any oil. It shouldn't have oil in it. If your skin is dry, you should use a cream that's specifically for dry skin. That means it should contain oil. It should have oil in its ingredients. If you use a cream for dry skin, like Huda Beauty, like samirkuzami or creams that contain alcohol, they cause the skin to start flaking and cracking. If you're just starting out and a new client comes to you and truly says, I really want my skin to have a significant amount of coverage, but you determine that their skin is dry, now they want both coverage and moisture. To address the skin's dryness, it's better to use a cream with an oil base like L'Oreal cream and apply it to the face. Find one like that. First, let it be fully absorbed by the skin, then apply a cream with an alcohol base on top of it. That is, don't mix them together. First, apply the cream with an oil base to the skin, lift it up, prepare the skin. Balance the oiliness of your skin, and now you are allowed to use a cream that contains alcohol and has very high coverage, like Huda Beauty, like Samir Kazami, like a steel ladder. You can use it like this, but if you have oily skin, it will come under your hands. The skin is oily and produces a lot of oil. You should never use a cream that contains oil. That means you should never use brands like L'Oreal or creams like NARS, Clinique, and the like. Why? Because their base is oil and it will make your skin even oilier, causing it to produce more oil after makeup and making your face look cakey. Because I want to have a natural makeup look, I apply the foundation to my skin using a brush, and I want it to create a thin layer on my skin. But if the client or you want a lot of coverage, you should apply your foundation with a flat brush. With a flat brush like this, first place the foundation on your skin, then blend it out with a blender. But if you want your skin to look normal, and like me right now, you want a moderate and balanced coverage, use a brush with a rounded tip like this so it blends easily on your skin. It acts as a blender itself. Make sure to only dab. Do not rub it on your skin under any circumstances. Apply it using a tapping motion. It is recommended to keep a soft tissue or blotting paper readily accessible nearby so you can constantly and gently blot away any excess oil or shine that may appear on your skin. And then, without interruption, you can comfortably continue with your important work or task. Be careful not to get any cream on your eyebrows. Now we'll start by dabbing with the blender that we've already washed and is just slightly damp. You absolutely must wash the blender and make it damp. If it's damp, it significantly helps to cool the skin, especially beneficial for those with oily skin types. If you happen to have oily skin, it effectively helps to control the excess oil production and actively prevents it from becoming overly greasy. Furthermore, it also thoroughly freshens and pleasantly cools your skin, which ultimately makes it look much better and more radiant. And your foundation will apply more smoothly. I wipe off the excess oil like this onto a paper towel, and I tap the blender on the paper towel so that if there's any extra oil on my blender, it gets removed. Then I start dabbing it on my skin again. Okay, now it's time for me to use concealer. It's very important to know which concealer to use for each skin type. If you have oily skin, you can use concealers that have a very dry and alcohol-based texture, like Tarte, and it will give good coverage under your eyes and won't get oily. But if your skin is dry, definitely don't use Tarte because Tarte is too heavy for dry skin and it will cause wrinkles under your eyes. For dry skin, you should use concealers like Too Faced or Fair Cosmetic because their texture is light, soft, and it won't crease under your eyes, and it gives really nice coverage. I'm going to use Fair Cosmetic, shade Almond W20. Be careful not to apply concealer all over the under eye area when using concealer. Only apply it from the corner of the eye to the side of the nose and outward toward the temple to give the eyes a lifted look, and then gradually blend out the rest. From the sides of the nose, blend it downward. I also use a bit of concealer on my chin, and I do the same between my eyebrows in the middle of my forehead. I let the concealer sit for a bit so it can set, because if I start blending it right away, it will be completely absorbed by the blender and disappear. So pause for a moment, and once it sets, then start blending. Gently tap and blend it out under your eyes. All right, let's move on to contouring. Contouring is really important. If you have a chubby face, the contouring is different from someone with a thin face who wants to make it look fuller. For faces that are round and chubby with prominent cheeks, your contouring should be done in a way that makes the face look more sculpted and slimmer like this. You should apply the contour at a 45-degree angle from the side of your temple toward your lips, just like this. See, your contour should be carefully drawn from the temple area, moving smoothly toward the lips at a distinct slant, just like this example. This makes the face look longer and reduces the chubbiness of the face. Make sure your contour is placed exactly under the cheekbone, exactly under the prominent cheekbone, and it should be gracefully elongated. Now, to make the entire face look even slimmer and more defined, if your client's facial structure or your own personal face is very chubby and has a significant amount of roundness, you should carefully drag this particular part downward as well. Now, to get rid of the double chin area, you need to do it like this. Apply contouring and separate your neck from your double chin so your face looks slimmer. Well, as you can see now, this part of my face makes it look more defined. But if your face is rather thin and you want it to look noticeably fuller and more rounded, the contour that you apply here should be brought inward toward the nose, just like this. Your contour should curve toward the nose in a semicircle shape to make the face look fuller. Now I want to blend the contour so you can see how each side of the face turns out. Look, this side of my face now looks fuller, and if my face were thin, it would make my face appear chubbier. Now, on the contrary, I want to make this side of my face look slimmer. Watch. Now I start tapping with my blender and blend it out completely. Let's move on to the important step, which is nose contouring. If you're a beginner and still don't know how to contour different types of noses, I want to share a technique with you that's really useful and works for all nose shapes. Take a very thin brush and place it exactly from the center of your forehead down to the tip of your nose, just like this. Now contour both sides. That means you should carefully apply your dark contour makeup fully on this particular side and also on that other side. As you can see, we've drawn two thin parallel lines. Now, if your nose is a little bit droopy and the tip points noticeably downward, you can simply tilt your head up just a little bit and then carefully shade the very tip of your nose. If your nose has a noticeable bump or perhaps looks a little crooked, do what I'm about to tell you. That is, darken the area over the bump, and this will make the bump on your nose disappear and no longer be visible. We're creating an optical illusion. Now use concealer in the middle between those two darkened sides. Now using concealer, we brighten the center of our nose. Also, to make our nose look slimmer, we highlight both sides of it. Now it's time to freshen up my face a bit and make it look more vibrant. I'm currently using a liquid blush, either a lovely pink shade or a warm brick tone, to really give my entire face a bit of extra dimension and make it look much more vibrant and lively. Now it's truly time to completely and thoroughly set my skin. Exactly, guys, if you happen to have naturally oily skin, you absolutely and unequivocally need to use a high quality setting powder that is both waterproof and effectively oil absorbing. This is critically important because if your chosen setting powder is a subpar one, once your skin inevitably starts to sweat, that perspiration will unfortunately mix with the powder, and your carefully applied makeup will then become noticeably cakey and quite patchy, ultimately ruining your entire look. So you really truly need to use a reliable waterproof setting powder such as the exceptionally effective Estee Lauder setting powder or Hourglass. Start with a powder puff that has a velvety texture and begin applying it from under your eyes to set the makeup. If you have dry skin, try to use a setting powder that is very lightweight. In general, dry skin doesn't really need much setting powder. You can, in fact, use a setting spray instead, so your skin truly stays fresh and wonderfully hydrated and absolutely doesn't look wrinkled or aged at all. So it's better for dry skin to use a setting spray instead of setting powder. Well, now I have fresh glowing skin and I really love it. How do you like it? Look, my skin is completely fresh and there are no borders at all. There are no lines or wrinkles on my face. You need to make sure your contours are completely blended. So since I want to do a simple beginner-friendly makeup look, kind of a light style, that's suitable for those of you who are just starting out. So I'm applying a bit of concealer on my eyelids with a blender and blending it out completely so that my eyelids get a slightly tacky texture. Now I want to use a shimmer and apply it all over my eyelid. Actually, I want to use the shimmer on the center part of my eye and blend it evenly. Now I'm going to use a brick or light pink shade to slightly shape the outer corners of my eyes and give them a more elongated look. Make absolutely sure to carefully apply the vibrant color to the outer corner of your beautiful eye using a gentle tapping motion. Then meticulously shape the outer part of your eye like a perfect parenthesis and subsequently flick the remaining portion of the color outward in this precise and elegant way. You should use a very light touch and avoid applying any pressure. Just flick it outward in a sweeping motion. Just barely touch it, just a little bit. To draw eyeliner, you can use two types of brushes. You can use an angled brush or you can use a 000 brush, whichever one you're more comfortable with. Usually beginners use the 000 brush, but once you get a bit more skilled, you can use the angled brush. The eyeliner you use should definitely be waterproof, so that if your client or you yourself tear up, your eyeliner won't smudge or run down. If you're looking for something affordable, you can use Maybelline, but if you want a branded and more professional option, you can go for MAC or Inglot or even other more professional products. However, I would highly recommend that you absolutely start out with Maybelline, which is truly amazing. It is completely waterproof and will not mess up your beautiful face or ruin your perfectly applied eyeliner if you happen to tear up at all. I'm going to use my pigment palette. I'm going to use the black shade because this one also never gets messy, but there's a trick. You definitely need to set it with eyeshadow afterward to dry it. So if you happen to have an eyeliner product that you genuinely believe might smudge or perhaps even flake after you've applied your makeup, you should absolutely just set it completely with a black powder eyeshadow to thoroughly dry it and ensure its longevity. When applying eyeliner, never draw it with your eyes closed because it will turn out completely wrong. When you open your eyes, you'll see that the eyeliner is crooked or the eyelid crease has covered the line and it's not visible. Always ask your client to look straight ahead, or if you're doing it on yourself, look straight ahead and apply the eyeliner directly. Look, keep your gaze straight ahead. Draw a slanted line at a 45-degree angle upward, extending toward the end of your eyebrow. See? Now consider the last wave point. Take the last wave point into account. A vertical line. Now consider the last wave point. Draw a vertical line upward, and you'll see two sides of a triangle actually drawn on your eye. Now connect these two lines together, and a triangle will form at the outer corner of your eye. Fill in the inside of the triangle. Now please look straight ahead and carefully mark the precise center of your eye. Now from this mark, draw a straight line to the end of your triangle so that your eyeliner becomes completely even and elongated. And now you can completely fill in this eyeliner and you'll have a smooth cat eyeliner. Now carefully draw the delicate tail of your eyeliner inward, moving precisely right along your natural lash line, ensuring a smooth and continuous application. For my lipstick, I'm going to use my eyeshadow palette. I want a light peach shade on my lips so that my makeup looks a bit more natural. First, I'll apply a base for my lipstick. I'm going to use a slightly darker shade because I want to create an ombre effect. After that, I'll use a cream-colored shade. I apply the cream color right in the center of my lips and then gently start blending it out.